My name is Nick, and what you're about to hear is a true story. Not a rumour, not a campfire tale, a real event that no news outlet ever had the courage to report because it's too disturbing, too real. It all started in a small studio apartment in Paris, a perfectly ordinary place, or at least it should have been. But what happened there? No one's ever been able to fully explain it. Every detail was confirmed, every discovery documented. But the truth? It's worse than you think. Let me take you back to 2022. A 22-year-old woman moves into a top-floor apartment in an old building in the 18th arrondissement. It was a small studio, barely 15 square meters, but good enough for her internship. She was alone, independent, ready to begin a new chapter. But on her very first night, something felt off. At exactly 3:13 in the morning, she heard a thud under her bed. Just one. Then silence. She thought it might be the plumbing, or maybe a neighbour banging on a wall. But the next night, same thing, same time, 3:13, and again the next night. She began to notice the pattern. It wasn't just a sound. It was always coming from directly beneath her, from under her bed, and always at the exact same time. One night, she decided to set up her phone and record. She placed it against the wall, facing the space beneath the bed, and hit record. Then she went to sleep. The next morning, she watched the footage. At first, nothing, just stillness. About 40 seconds in, something moved. A shadow. Something was crawling, slowly, beneath the bed. Not an animal, not a draft. A person, lying flat, sliding quietly. The figure turned its head and looked straight at the camera. Long hair, a blurry face, but the mouth looked like it was smiling. Someone had been under her bed while she slept. She called the police. They searched the apartment top to bottom. No forced entry, no fingerprints, no signs of intrusion. Everything appeared normal, until one officer noticed something strange under the bed frame. A small metal hatch, old, half-rusted shut. They forced it open. Behind it was a narrow utility tunnel, barely wide enough for a person to crawl through. It led to an old service corridor, forgotten and unmarked on recent blueprints. At the end of the passage, a sealed basement. No lights, no ventilation, just cold concrete and damp air. And in the corner, a mattress, a bag of rotting food, clothing, and photos. Dozens of photos, all of young women. Most of them asleep. Some were crossed out. Others had names written in marker. One of the photos was recent. Very recent. It was her, sleeping. The photo had clearly been taken from inside the room, above her bed. It wasn't the first time. Other tenants had filed noise complaints over the years. Whispers of strange activity, missing socks, open drawers, a constant feeling of being watched. 2 women who lived there before her had vanished. Their cases were closed as probable runaways. No one followed up. The landlord, unreachable. The phone number disconnected. The lease had been signed under a false identity. No one knows who handed her the keys. Today, the apartment is sealed, condemned, off limits. But sometimes, neighbours say a light turns on by itself. Always at 3:13 a.m. Security footage outside the door has caught the curtain inside shifting. No windows open, no one inside, and no one outside either. To this day, no one knows who was living under that bed, or how long they had been there, or how many nights they watched her, breathing quietly, just inches below her. One thing's for sure, they were careful. They chose their victims, and they waited. So tonight, before you fall asleep, Do one thing for me. Check under your bed, and if you hear something knock from underneath, don't answer it.